Hey, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. It's good to be back. Um, and it looks like since the war is not over, I'm going to be sticking around for a while because we need help over here and we want to keep this thing top of mind for people. The Ukrainians are bleeding and they need our help. Now, today, I want to talk a little bit about the Wagner attempt at Moscow yesterday and try to provide some possible explanations with the caveat that I don't have an answer and I am just as confused as everybody else because the whole thing doesn't make any sense. Um, what do we know? Let's take a look at some facts. Here are some facts. Alexander Lukashenko, Yevgeny Prigozhin, and Vladimir Putin have been closely associated, one could say friends. They certainly trust each other or seem to trust each other with their lives for over 20 years. At the very least, we know that Yevgeny Prigozhin is deeply invested in Wagner, which is a business. And the extent of that business is not clear to me. There are gold mines in Mali. There are other mines in other places in Africa. There is a record of human rights abuses and war criminality, and it's all done under the auspices of Mr. Putin. So one would think that that criminal organization extends to him and has funded his pocket too. I don't know that to be true, but one would think it couldn't be any other way. Putin is stuck in a war he started that he can't get out of. He's got no off ramp. Yevgeny Prigozhin is in Ukraine making money off the lives of Russians recruited into his private army with Vladimir Putin's consent and blessing. Now, those Russians recruited into the army, they may be brutal, they may be killers, they may be the worst kind of people. But to every day see 19-year-old kids coming up and being fed into the meat grinder for the Kremlin has got to be tough for anybody. And to see it ongoing every day, as many as maybe 60,000 of them over the last 8 months trying to take Bakhmut, you can see that among the frontline troops, those battle hardened guys, there could be a growing sense of frustration and anxiety and uselessness and resentment toward the Kremlin that these lives are being thrown away. That idea, there is nothing that I see in Yevgeny Prigozhin that says that he's got any sense of what justice is or what justice means. But the average guys on the line, they might want to undertake a march for justice. There might be a ground swelling among the troops of, hey, we got to do something about this. And Prigozhin himself is caught between these troops who might very well be threatening to mutiny against him, the Ukrainians who will do anything to capture or kill him, a growing resentment of his power and popularity back in Russia, particularly among Gerasimov and Shoigu, whom he has been scapegoating this war, right? He's been using them and complaining about them for months and months and months and not really criticizing his buddy Putin. Now, of course, in the great tradition of the Russian Empire, The czar is never responsible for anything, right? Oh, well, pardon me. The czar is responsible for all good things, and all evil stems from a corrupt bureaucracy who takes the blame, and the czar is left in the dark. As late as Saturday morning, in a telegram channel, Prigozhin said the words, uh, Shoigu and Gerasimov put lies into their reports and put them on the president's desk. It's not Putin's fault. It's Gerasimov and Shoigu. And we are marching to Moscow to eliminate them, the incompetence in the military command structure, not the president. He never said that. So, is it possible, as many are suggesting on the interwebs here, is it possible that this whole thing was a setup between three old friends to extract Yevgeny Prigozhin and get him out alive, to provide for Vladimir Putin scapegoats who will take the fall over the next couple months as the battlefield losses increase, and then provide Putin with an escape, an off ramp from Ukraine, because he can say, look, I thought things were going okay. I thought everything was under control because Gerasimov and Shoigu have been lying to me this whole time. And I didn't know. Now that I know what the situation is, my friends, I'm going to pull our troops out of there. Is this the way that Putin gets his off ramp? Or are Putin and Gerasimov, are Putin and Prigozhin really at each other's throats? And is Prigozhin going to end up thrown out of a window any day or in the next year or whatever? I don't know. I don't have any answers. Um, and I wasn't rooting for one side or the other in this thing, particularly. I thought I knew how it would go because I didn't think Prigozhin was stoppable, especially after he shot down all those helicopters and planes and got within 200 miles of Moscow and then stopped. There's something fishy in the state of Denmark there, boy. But at any rate, in this fight yesterday, I wasn't rooting for one side or the other because there was no good guy in this fight. I was rooting for them both to lose. And the one thing we can say for sure is that they both lost. Wagner's efficacy in Ukraine is shot. Troops are demoralized. They feel sold out, used. And in Russia, Russia's weakness is exposed for the whole world to see, and so is Putin's. Both the bad guys lost. And for my money, that's a win for all of us.